There are those shows that are remembered for just how great they were. Match quality, storytelling, story building, the aftermath that passes the pay-per-view. Then there's the events that are remembered for just how bad they were. Match quality, awful. Storytelling, awful. Story building, awful. Aftermath, sucks. And then there's those shows that are remembered for a couple of different items, but otherwise the card was either really just okay or pretty mediocre at worst, or maybe at best. And then there's those shows that are remembered for just one moment, for just one match, for just one important detail in wrestling history that changed us and changed lives, altered a life, and ended a life. And the show I'm talking about is Over the Edge 1999. Going back, I didn't see this show. Obviously, I was only 4 when this show actually took place. I'm 19 years old. And every time I go back and read about it or look for highlights or look for a video of it and watch the pay-per-view from start to finish in its entirety, I can't get myself emotionally invested in the pay-per-view, all because of the one moment that happened when the third match was about to begin. Now, obviously, Over the Edge 1999 took place Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri. Over 16,472 people attended the event. And those 16,472 people witnessed the death of Owen Hart. One of the best athletes that I've ever seen, just from looking back at old Raw tapes and old pay-per-views and old stuff, old videos and stuff like that. And just from looking at his matches and just from looking at his character and his mic work, he instantly became one of my favorites. Obviously, I was too young to remember him during his prime. I was too young to remember him during his career, pretty much. Like I said, I was only 4 years old when he died. And I was only just born when he was at the peak of his career. Well, not at the peak, but at the highest point of his career. And when I look back at the pay-per-view, this is a perfect example of a pay-per-view that ties into pay-per-view events being remembered for only one thing. And like I said, when I watch shows like this, I can't get myself emotionally invested into the rest of the pay-per-view because this moment clouded my mind. This moment completely just threw me off. And this moment completely filled me and many millions of wrestling fans with sadness, with anger. And the reason I wanted to talk to you about Over the Edge 1999 is because of one thing in particular that I really hated about this show. Now, obviously, in case you don't know how this all happened, at the time, Owen Hart was portraying the Blue Blazer, which was a superhero type of gimmick. And he was going to make an entrance from the ceiling via harness, a slow-moving harness. And somewhere during the descent, the harness snapped, and Hart fell from the ceiling, roughly 75 feet, and hit the metal turnbuckle on the ring. And when he came down, an ambulance took him, and on his way to the hospital, he was pronounced dead. Now, I could sit here and talk about the life of Owen Hart and the career of Owen Hart, but I'm not going to do that. But the one thing I do want to talk about is the one thing, and it wasn't even that this happened, just the one thing in general that makes this show so memorable. And it's not a good thing at all. It is the fact that 15 minutes after a wrestler who was loved and idolized by many passed away in the middle of the ring, the next match happened. And the rest of this pay-per-view happened. I don't know why that this was ever done. I don't get why this was ever done. The decision to continue the event was the one thing about this show that made it memorable. And it wasn't even Hart's death that made it memorable. It was the fact that after he basically just lost his life, the next match was ordered out as if nothing ever happened. To me, that reeks of the ultimate disrespect to Owen and to the Hart family and to the wrestling community. To me, that reeks of sadness just because of how stupid it is. I can remember Martha Hart quoting it perfectly. After he lost his life for humanity, after he lost his fight for humanity, they just scooped him up and ordered the next match out. Where is the humanity in that? Where is the humanity in that? There is none. And you could say whatever the hell you want. Oh, why are you ranting about this? This happened in 1999. You were too young to remember it. This and that and this and bullshit. And the reason why it's bullshit is because I can rant about whatever the hell I want to. And the fact of the matter is that this is one of those wrestling topics that if you don't rant about it or don't have a problem with it, makes you an absolute moron. Vince McMahon, to me, is going to be looked upon as a failure, and the only reason why he's going to be looked upon as a failure, or one of the only reasons why, is for continuing Over the Edge 1999. The fact that he gave the wrestlers a choice of work or not is stupid. Why did they need to work? Why couldn't the show just be a tribute show? Why did they have to wrestle? Maybe they wanted to, but it doesn't matter. Why were they given an option? They shouldn't have been given an option. He should have said, you know what? No, Raw is being canceled. We just lost one of our top guys. Everything about Over the Edge 1999 and everything about the aftermath of Over the Edge 1999 just reeks of total disrespect on so many levels. And that is one of the reasons why I don't like Vince McMahon. Is because of stupid bullshit like this.